guys, Anamortis here. Alright, I know it's been a while. I've been a little sick, but I think I can go ahead and do what I promised to do in the first place, which is to provide for you an OpenSUSE walkthrough of a command line basic install. OpenSUSE has taken over as my daily driver, mostly because Debian is experiencing, at least for me, some issues with running, what would it be? Running Steam, and Steam has been very slow, and I don't know why it's doing that. It's really annoying. Can't really use Steam right now. Hopefully OpenSUSE fixes that. So in the interim, I'm running hopefully Debian fixes that. In the interim, I'm running OpenSUSE or SUSE maybe. I'm gonna probably bounce back and forth on pronunciations on that. But in the interim, I'm gonna show you how I run my system. So to begin, we're going to go up to a live CD command line. This is just a GNOME live CD. You can get it on OpenSUSE, and actually, let me show you where that's located. So we'll go to SUSE.org. Tumbleweed is the version we're going to be installing today. It is now OpenSUSE only really provides these installer images, but if you go down, you can go to alternative downloads. I can get a live CD here. So that's what I'm running, and that's what we'll be doing today. So anyway, we'll do a sudo su minus. Now we're going to do a zipper refresh. Zipper is the package manager for OpenSUSE. It is reliable, but on this live environment, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. I don't know why. The experience I've had with it is I just don't think the live CDs, since they're such an afterthought, since they're buried so deep, they're not made as well as most live environments, not like Fedoras or Ubuntu's or anything. So what I'm running here is just a little slower than usual. Things speed up once you get on the hard drive specifically. So now that we've refreshed Zipper and we're good there, we're going to do an LLSPOK and look at our disks. As you can see, we have the live CD disks here, but VDA is my hard drive. Size is pretty big, so we'll go ahead and edit that. So we'll do an fdisk dev VDA G to create a new GPT label. N for the first partition, first sector default, last sector plus 512. And I've used this disk already, so we'll just remove that vfat signature. Then I'm going to let you know I'm going to be doing a swap file today. I've switched to them, just a little easier to mess with, plus you can modify the size and such. If you're using Butterfuss or ZFS, still recommending a swap partition. Swap partitions also are just a little better overall, but I'm going to show you guys how to make a swap file in this installation. So now we need to make our second partition, just defaults all the way down. Again, I've used this disk before, so I'll just do yes to remove the signature and then W to write. Then we'll make our file system. So makefs vfat dev vda1. This might be sda1 or nvme1, p1 for you. Just really depends on what kind of systems you're running. EFI always needs to be vfat, so we'll choose that. And then we'll just do a standard ext4 for VDA2. And that only takes a few moments there. Now we need to mount. We'll do VDA2 first to MNT. Then we'll make dir p for path, MNT boot EFI. And then we mount dev VDA1 to MNT boot EFI. Okay, now that we've got that done, we're going to take Zipper and we're going to tell it to install to our MNT folder. Zipper is the main package manager. It has this Bootstrap capability, and we're going to do in for install, and we'll do -pt for pattern and tell it to do a pattern, which is basically like a meta package or a group package, and then just base and hit enter. Now we're going to say yes to this. And it's going to throw a license agreement at us. This is just for, hey, you're going to respect our trademarks and copyrights, and we have no warranty on this, just standard Linux stuff. And we'll go through that, hit Q, and this is going to go ahead and install everything. We'll let this run. It'll take a few minutes and go from there. All right, now that we have the base system installed, we need to copy over our zipper repos. This is similar to how we would do it for apt on Debian. So we just etc zip repos.d star to mnt etc zip repos.d, and now we have the repos over. Then we just do our standard for dir and sys dev proc to align our hardware with our soon-to-be shrewded environment. So we'll do this, do mount, arbine $dir, mnt $dir, and mount make r slave t $dir done. Then we cp our resolve.conf. Then we're going to do what we did on my Fedora video, which is a systemd first boot -- root /mnt. I'm going to set our time zone here, America / New York, because I'm on the east coast of the US. We'll do a host name equals SUSE strap setup machine ID. That'll write that, and then we can shroot. Got a space there. There we go. Okay, now that we're shrewded into our hard drive, things should speed up a little bit. We'll do a systemd first boot. We'll set our locale. UTF-8. And we'll set our root password because we need to log in. Otherwise, we won't be able to. Now we'll refresh Zipper. And it's going to warn us, hey, I don't have any keys. There are some new repositories. We're going to hit A just to accept all of them because those keys are important. They're important for security, and we only got to do it once. So let that go ahead, build the repository metadata, and download all that. Should only take a few seconds. Now we need a text editor. Zipper does not include one as part of the base package. So we'll just do vim. I'll download all that. Get vim installed. And then we need to edit our fstab file. So cp ed proc mounts to etc fstab. We're going to have to chmod 744 etc fstab so we can edit it, and then we'll go vim etc fstab. And this is just how fstab always looks. We'll do dd to delete each row that is not a dev row, referring to the hard drive. We'll keep tempfs, delete all this, change the folder to /tmp, delete these, and shift ZZ to save that. Then we need to get our BLK IDs. And as you can see, VDA 1 and 2, we'll just use these UU IDs. Go ahead, right-click, copy. VDA 1. Get rid of the quotation marks, do not need those. Shift CZ to save again. And VDA 2. And get rid of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a swap file. Okay, so while we're in here and we have everything lined up, we're going to first create it. I am in the root folder, the system root folder. So we'll do an dd if /dev 0 of equals swap file, bs equals 1m, and then count equals, so that's 1 megabyte, and then we'll do 10,000 1 megabytes for a 10 gigabyte swap file. This takes a few seconds. It's just creating an empty file that happens to take up that much space. All zeros, if I recall. Okay, and as you can see, it tells us it made a 10 gigabyte copy right there, 522 megabytes per second. Then we need to chmod the swap file. We're going to change it to 600. Then we need to make it into swap. So make swap, swap file. And then we'll swap on the swap file, why not? Now we need to add it to fstab, so we'll do vi etc fstab. Go back down to this bottom row, and it'll be / swap file, as that is where the file is. And we'll do none swap sw00, and then just save it. And now we got a swap file. We got 10 big gigabytes of swap space on our system. So this is also a good point if you have, if you've used XFS or Butterfuss to install Butterfuss progs or XFS progs. I'm not going to do that for right now. And then we are also going to install the kernel. So zipper in kernel default. And what you're going to get here is something interesting. You're going to get these warnings that there are conflicts with kernel. It requires awk, but BusyBox gawk provides it already and is conflicting. We're going to say 1 to uninstall these, just 1 for all 3. Should get 3 of these, and it'll warn you, I'm going to uninstall those packages, and then I'm going to download the kernel. So we'll just hit enter for the default yes, and let that go. Okay, now that we got the kernel installed, we need to just regenerate our hooks. That was really quick. Now we need to install grub. So zipper in grub2 x86 64 if I shim. Change that grub2 install to whatever is appropriate for your hardware. This only takes a moment. Then we need to install grub. Grub to install dev VDA. No error reported, that's what you want to see. Then we need to generate the grub menu. Big-O boot grub2 grub.cfg. And then we have grub in. So then we'll do an if I boot mgr just to double check. As you can see, OpenSUSE is right there. OpenSUSE, zipper in network manager. Now we want internet. We're going to get it while we can, so we need to install network manager just to make sure that works. Or we could install DHCP-CD if we really needed to. But network manager is my preference as of late. So this should only take a second. And while it's doing this, I'll note SUSE is the first Linux distro I ever used. I bought SUSE 7 from Best Buy in 2001 as a teenager. Kind of aging myself there, but it doesn't matter. And to see it evolve this way is really interesting, and to just kind of come all the way back around has been a great experience. So now we'll just enable Network Manager. And now we have internet, and that's it. We can reboot into our new live environment. So I'll just exit out of this, exit on our command line, and we will reboot. There you have it. We are now in a live environment. We have everything lined up, and we are good to go. So I'm going to log in, and I'll show you now. If you can look here, we got everything good. Swap, I don't see, we got the swap file working, all good there. So here's everything. So I'm going to show you now. You're on the command line. Maybe you want to do any kind of command line stuff, or you want to get to a live graphical environment quickly. I'm not going to leave you hanging. let's do that. So first of all, we need to install sudo, so our other users can safely execute commands, and we'll do a vi sudo. Now, SUSE has a weird thing where these are enabled, and that means sudo will ask for the root password instead of the user password. You can leave that. It might be an interesting thing to do. I like to comment them out. Just I prefer to keep it pretty standard. Then we'll just hit escape, go down to this and uncomment to allow anyone in the member of group wheel to execute any command. Shift's easy to save. Then we'll do a user add m capital G sudo to make sure the user's in the sudo group. And then I'll just use my name. Oh, not sudo. Not on Debian, we're on Linux, so or on SUSE, so we're user add wheel. It'll complain that there is no mail system, so it's going to make us mail system. Don't worry about it. Now you have a mail system, basically, is what it's saying. Then we'll set a password for our user. Then I'm going to switch over to that user. And we are here. So now we need to, I'm going to install Gnome. So we'll go Gnome, and then I'll thin it down further with a grep for meta. Oh. Actually, let's try this for pattern. Here we go. So here's some Gnome patterns, and then we'll do a sudo zipper in. Then if you recall from our install, we'll do a t pattern, and I like Gnome basic, which you can see, if you can see my mouse, is kind of down towards the middle. And we can go pattern gnome underscore basic. Put in my password. And it's going to download a ton of stuff, about 668 megs, 669. I'm going to let this run its course and give you some time to get a drink of water if you don't want, or I'll just fast forward this. But and it's going to download everything you need to have a GNOME desktop without all the extra bloatware and packages that you might get. It includes Yast, which is the SUSE administrative tool. They've had that since forever. I used it in SUSE 7 back when I was a kid. It's still there. And, you know, just kind of enjoy yourself. Okay, now that we've got GNOME installed, it's actually pretty straightforward from here. We need to do a reboot. So let's just kick that into gear. Nice quick experience on that. Nothing to worry about. Set up for GNOME, hit enter. And behold, you are now in an OpenSUSE desktop environment of your choosing. So just adjust this here for your benefit. 16 by 9, bring that up. Keep changes. And here we are. That's it. You're good to go. You got networking, you got terminal, you got internet. You are fully ready to go with your OpenSUSE desktop environment. So go ahead and enjoy that, and thanks for watching, guys. We are going to next. I've had a request to do Nixos. I do not know anything about Nixos other than it seems to be an immutable OS. So I'm going to play with that. I'm also going to start taking a look at Fedora Silverblue. If I had to guess, it's not going to be possible to do a bootstrap of Fedora Silverblue just because of the way it's made. I think they're designed to be just clones of each other that run on your hard drive. It's actually not an installation or something, but I'll learn more in time. For now, just go ahead, enjoy this video, and we will continue. I think I'll do the Arch install next. But thanks, guys, for watching, and happy hacking.